Hello there, let's talk about how to change the Hikvision NVR camera name. So it's pretty simple. As you can see, I have the NVR here on the screen already connected with this camera. So it's a Hikvision NVR connected to a Hikvision camera, everything together here in the same switch, which also is connected to the same computer, okay? So same network, everything working fine. And here I have the Hikvision camera name being displayed on my NVR, right? If I want to change that, it's pretty easy. Right now, I have here the camera itself, so I have an access directly to the camera because it's connected to the switch, right? Not to the NVR right now. Let me just load the NVR interface here so you can see. That's the NVR interface, so I can have more than one camera being displayed here at the same time, okay? So let me just change here so you can see that I can display different cameras, camera number 1, 2, 3, and 4, for example, right? And when I come here to the configuration, I can change the name. So basically I need to come here to this menu, image, and here I can find OSD settings. And just right here, I have the camera name. Let me change here, for example, Hikvision camera 01B, okay? And I just hit save. And then when I come here to the live view, I can see the camera name here. Let me just load the camera. It takes a while to load. Here we go, Hikvision camera 01B. So it's basically working, changing from here. If I come here to the camera, so directly to the camera, I see here Hikvision camera 01. Okay, so I'm loading here the browser directly via this camera. Let me just reload here to see what happens, so you can understand better what happens between the NVR and the camera. Here we go, Hikvision camera 01B. If I go to the configuration of the camera, just to check here on the image and OSD settings as well, I see here Hikvision camera 01B, which means the NVR is changing the camera's name. So when I go to the NVR interface, I change the name here, it goes to the camera and changes there, right? If I display the name here or hide the name here from the camera, let's save. Here we go, I save, and then I come here to the NVR and just reload. Let's see what happens. Load the camera. And the name is not longer there, right? Because I'm changing the camera. Be aware that I'm not connecting the camera directly to the NVR. I'm connecting the camera to the switch where I have also the NVR connected to. I have the computer connected to as well. So I can have access directly to the NVR or directly to the camera. If you connect the camera here directly to the NVR, then it's different, right? You can't do what I'm doing here, which is have access directly to each device individually, right? So I'm using a PoE switch to connect the camera. So as you can see, the camera name changes according to the NVR. The NVR connects to the camera to change the name there. Back here to the configuration again. On the NVR right now, OSD settings, here I can display the name and save. You see that the display was already checked, but was not working because I need to check it again and save. So I come here to the live view and I can see the name there, okay? If for some reason it's not working via web interface, you need to do the configuration via monitor, directly via monitor connected here to your Hikvision NVR, okay? That happened before to me. I was changing here via web interface and was not working. So what I had to do is just load the interface from the NVR, okay? Let me just do that. To load the interface here, I'm coming here to the configuration. And then I need to look here. Let me just see where is it, this information. Here, I need to display the monitor. Let me just look for here. Here we go. In system, I need to display here on 1920 by 1080. So I save here. Then the NVR is rebooting. So the idea is that I can see here via monitor. I have this NVR connected to the monitor. I'm just changing here the output so you can see the monitor here from the NVR, but I need to use 1920 by 1080 to be able to see it, right? So I'm just change the monitor here. So here we go, I changed it to the monitor. Now I can use a mouse and I move the mouse here on the screen, but the NVR is still rebooting. So I need to wait for the NVR to come back and then I have access to the interface, okay? So I just heard a beep here, the NVR is coming up. Then when I see the interface, I can change whatever I want there. What I did here was do the setup via web browser without using the interface, okay? And sometimes things get stuck like this because you're doing the configuration directly via a web browser and you're not using the monitor interface, then things get stuck there and you don't see it. For example, the display name. Sometimes it happens. It happened to me before. And then I had to do this process manually here via the menu on the NVR itself. And as you can see here, okay? So you see that the system here language is asking for English. If I want to apply, that's the initial configuration, right? When you load the NVR for the first time, you see this type of configuration here. So I can just apply and start asking me for more stuff. Start wizard when start. Okay, that happens when you configure the NVR for the first time. Since I didn't do from this menu, it's asking me a lot of stuff here. I'll just exit here and confirm. And here you go. Now I have access directly to the menu. Let me just right click and insert the password here. Here we go. I have the password here. That one was created via web browser. I hit OK. And since it's the first time I'm using this interface, it's asking me to set up an unlock pattern here. I will just set up one pattern here just for test, one and twice. So you need to do this twice. And here we go. Now I have access to the menu. And then I can come here into the configuration. I think it's not here. Let me just come back here, and here have camera, right? So here I can see all of the cameras. I have the camera here connected, and I also have OSD on-screen display. Here we go. Now I have different cameras. So here we go. The camera, Hikvision camera 01B. That's the camera that I have connected here. And as you can see, the name is just right here, Hikvision camera 01B. Let me just change here to A, for example, right? And then just have the new information here. And when I hit apply, it's going to connect to the camera and update the information there. That's the idea, right? And here also display name. Let me just uncheck it, check again. So if your NVR is not working, when you do this, it solves the problem for sure, all right? So just make sure you come here to this menu and you do this and then you apply, okay? And then here, now if I come here back to the live view, let's see if the information is there. Here it is, Hikvision camera 01A, okay? So it's working also via direct interface here, right? Let me just come back here to the computer so I can see if the web browser has this information. So here you go, back to the browser interface. Let me just log in here into the camera and check, okay? So live view, I'm gonna check here if I have the camera name corrected there. Hikvision camera 01A, so it's basically working, all right? When I come also here to the configuration, just to double check, here on image, OSD settings, here I have the information for the camera and display name is checked and the name is here, okay? And it's also, of course, working here directly in the camera. As you can see here, I have B, old information. If I just reload, I see the information directly into the camera as Hikvision camera 01A. So it's basically working everywhere, right? So that's the way you can change the Hikvision NVR camera's name. If it doesn't work directly via web browser, you can go here via the NVR interface and change it there, okay? Either way, it works. So I hope this helps. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, leave your thumbs up and your comments, and I see you in the next one.